day and namaste. I'm Darleen and I am a certified yoga instructor and Ayurvedic consultant. And today I am going to lead you through a gentle yoga posture practice. We are going to explore movement and range of motion on our backs, on all fours, seated, as well as standing postures. I hope that this will support you in these days where we are spending a lot of time on our own inside. And I encourage you to use the practice as it best suits you. So if there are postures that are not appropriate for you, feel free to take a break or to explore modifications. Especially if you have issues with the spine, then you really want to take good care when we're exploring twists and side bends. Please feel free to have your space all ready and quiet for you with your yoga mat. Maybe you want a strap as a prop, or pillows, blankets, have a chair handy to be able to support you getting up off the mat. Whatever it is that you need to take some time to go within and be in your body and explore your own unique range of motion. Now, let's get ourselves ready and let's get things started. So we're going to begin our practice today with a gentle grounding session, exploring postures on our backs. So if you'd like to get yourself ready, lying down on your mat, take a few moments to explore any useful adjustments, gathering your focus within, leaving the world at the door as we take this time for ourselves to expand awareness, presence, focus, compassion. Let's honor our bodies. Let's let our minds be quiet as we move through these gentle postures. So we're going to start with our feet firmly rooted on the mat, and we're just going to allow the knees to sway gently from one side to the other. So you're feeling a gentle massage in the area of the lower back. You might notice your breath is calming, becoming deeper. Then we'll come to a neutral space, and from here, let's bring the knees up in towards the chest. And again, exploring a gentle rocking from side to side. Now feeling a gentle massage along the length of the spine. And then we're going to place the hands on the kneecaps. The arms are straight. And let's begin to draw some circles with the knees. Again, we're focusing here on the area of the lower back, circling the sacrum. And let's take those circles in the opposite direction. Keep coming back to the breath. And again, back to neutral. We're going to place the feet on the outer edges of the mat, allowing for any adjustments. Maybe the arms are going to come out to the sides. And we're just going to do a gentle windshield wiper action with the knees. So we're allowing the knee to move down in the direction of the opposite foot. And again, let's return to neutral. We'll bring the feet in towards each other. We'll go to cross-legged hip opener. So I'm placing the right ankle above the left knee, and we might hold the posture right here, perhaps giving a little pressure to that knee, observing a little bit of sensation in the right hip. If you want to take it a step further, you can lift that left knee up, take hold of the right shin, gently, gently pulling the shin in towards the chest. Take a breath or two. And then we're going to change legs. Left ankle above the right knee. You might hold it here, or you might lift that right knee this time, gently pulling the left shin in towards the chest. And again, let's release. Take a moment to observe. Now we're going to make use of our strap. So I hope you have your strap with you. We're going to place the right foot in the strap. And let's find that place, wherever it is, where we can hold the leg mostly straight. And then from there, see where we can gently pull that straight leg in towards us. So we're getting a little bit of sensation, a little bit of movement here along the length of the back of the leg. So into the hamstrings, into the calf muscles. If you press that heel upwards towards the ceiling, you might feel a little bit there around the Achilles tendon. Now from here, I'm going to take hold of the strap with the right hand. I'm going to open the right leg out to the right side of the body. So we're getting into the muscles of the inner thigh. And then lifting that right leg, let's change feet. This time left foot in the strap. Again, find that place where you can have a mostly straight leg. If it's a little bent, that's okay too. And just observing and breathing. Find that place where there's a bit of sensation that you can sit with, breathe into, soften into. Now we're going to take hold of the strap with the left hand. We're going to open the left leg out to the left side of the body. And again, let's lift. Now this time we'll have the right foot join the left foot in a supported legs up the imaginary wall pose. Now, of course, this is an inversion. Our feet are above our head. We are providing extra circulation of lymph blood and oxygen from the legs. So that's moving downwards towards our vital organs. In general, this is mostly a grounding practice, something that you might also want to explore maybe before going to bed at night if you find that you're having troubles falling asleep. You can hang out in this posture 15-20 minutes. You can actually place your feet against the wall so they're supported that way. So while we're here, maybe we'll explore just a gentle rocking from side to side. Maybe pulling the legs in towards us a little bit more. And then from here, let's explore a little bit different action, allowing the feet to slide out towards the edges of the strap. And again, maybe a little rocking. We'll bring the feet back in towards each other and explore just a little bit of core work here, lowering the legs to about a 45-degree angle. So you can feel the lower back pressing into the mat a little bit more. Feel the core muscles engaging. Okay, now from here, releasing the legs, we'll set the strap aside. Taking a moment to observe. Let's take the arms out from the shoulders. Our feet are about a foot away from the hips or so. Feet and knees are together. Now you might adjust the position of the feet as we lower both knees to the right side of the body. You can feel that left shoulder blade drawing inwards, turning the gaze over the left shoulder. Observing a little lengthening twist here. And then we'll come back to center. And again, perhaps adjusting the hips or the feet as we lower the knees to the left, turning the gaze over the right shoulder. And again, coming back to center. Now from here, we'll go into wind relief posture. So I'm going to straighten the left leg onto the mat to start. I'm going to bring the right knee in towards the chest. Now we might hold this posture here. Now if you want to take it further, you can lift the left leg and you can lift the forehead towards the right knee and take a few breaths. And then we'll release and change legs. Left knee in towards the chest. Maybe you're taking the back of the leg, that's also an option. Perhaps lifting the right leg, forehead towards the left knee. And again, nice release. And let's take a few moments to observe. We're going to place the hands just over the belly, And we'll breathe in and out through the nose. Observe the gentle rise and fall of the belly as we inhale and exhale. Sometimes your puppy wants to say hello to you while you practice. We'll do that in a moment. We're going to roll over onto the right side of the body, and let's take a few moments here in fetal position. From fetal position. Now let's lift to a comfortable seated posture. Now we're going to explore some seated postures here. So as you might be able to tell or not, I am sitting on my rolled up mat, which elevates my hips a little bit, and that tilts the pelvis down. I find that very useful for myself. You can sit on a cushion. For these postures, you can also feel free to sit on a chair if that works better for you. Okay, so whatever comfortable seated posture you find. Now I'm in modified adepts pose, the heels sort of lined up with the pelvis. You can be cross-legged, you can have your legs out front as well. Take a moment or two just to adjust and find that place where the body is of minimal distraction, where you can soften and relax. Again, gathering your focus within, observing the whole length of the spine. Think of the spine as your anchor, the rest of the body is supported by that anchor. Open across the heart center. Crown of the head is lifted. And breathing through the nose. And a gentle rise and fall of the belly as you inhale and exhale. Using the breath as our single pointed focus. When you notice the mind is wandering, that's okay. Acknowledge the thoughts. We don't dismiss them, but let's refrain from engaging with them. We'll keep focused on the breath as we explore movement in the body. And we'll start with some warm-ups here, just getting the joints moving. We're going to start with some sweet shoulder circles. And we'll take those circles in the opposite direction. And returning to neutral. Now from here, let's lower the right ear towards the right shoulder. And coming back to center, let's lower the left ear towards the left shoulder. back to center. Now we'll think of our nose as a pencil, and let's draw some slow, steady circles in the air with our nose. Really exploring our full range of motion in the neck and jaw area. When we come to the top of our circle, let's reverse the direction. Smooth movement. And again, coming back to neutral. Now, once again, we're going to make use of our strap. So I'm taking the length of the strap, I'm straightening my arms, and I'm going to lift. And you decide where your lift goes. Now, maybe you're holding right here, maybe you're going to focus it there. Maybe you're going to lift up and back and allow for a little bit deeper opening across the chest. Observe the shoulder blades moving in towards the spine. Take a few breaths. And this has the similar effect of a back bend. So this action is a little bit energizing and heating. Alright, nice and easy. I'm going to release. Let the shoulders soften up again. Take a moment to observe. We're going to add to that same action, this time taking our hands behind our backs, giving focus to the shoulder blades once again, moving towards the spine. Maybe lifting the arms off the back. Breathe. And then we'll go into the counter action for the spine, which is eagle arms, one elbow on top of the other. This might become a hug, or we might be able to wrap the forearms around each other. Take a breath. You might add a little resistance here by pressing the elbows into each other. Maybe lifting the elbows a little higher. Now we feel that openness between the shoulder blades. Let's release, and opposite elbow on top. And you might find that it's easier to do on one side than the other. That's normal. And let's release. Release that tension. Observing. We'll go into a gentle side stretch, placing the right hand on the floor beside us. We're going to lift the left arm up, maybe reaching upwards. We might hold here, or we might extend that arm a little bit more overhead. And let's flow to the other side. And again, coming back to neutral. Nice and easy. We'll go into a gentle twist. So I'm placing the right hand behind the right hip, the left hand to the outside of the right leg, keeping the spine lifted. And from here, I'm going to turn the gaze over the right shoulder. And as I'm breathing, I'm softening away from the twist and moving into the twist a little bit deeper with the exhalation. And let's see how it goes on the other side. Once again, coming back to center. Now we're going to draw some circles with the torso. Opposite direction. Okay, coming back to neutral, and let's give the legs a little shake. Now, from here, we're just going to give a little attention to the ankle joints. So we'll start by drawing some circles with the ankle, with the toes, getting those ankles moving, keeping the spine lifted. Let's reverse the direction. Okay, let's also add a little gentle massage here, drawing some sweet circles on the knee joints. Here we're just revving things up a little bit in the joints, increasing circulation, oxygen, lymph, and blood to the joints. And it feels nice. And then we're going to rake the fingers upwards from the ankles up towards the tops of the legs, and moving in the direction of the lymph nodes. And this is helping to keep the lymph circulation going in the legs. And again, not to mention that it feels quite nice. Okay, shake it off, and let's try a little side stretch here. I've got my left heel in, I've got my right leg out to the side. Now this might be enough stretch for you right here, and you might just want to sit and breathe into the space. If you'd like to take it a bit further, you can let the right hand slide down towards the foot. We rotate the heart center upwards, lifting that left arm up and over. And back to center. And let's change legs. Again, finding your place here. Right heel in, left leg out. You might notice that this is enough sensation for you. Or you might want to explore a little bit more. And coming back to neutral. Now from here, one of my favorite postures is one-legged forward bend. Right leg forward, left foot in. Or maybe your right leg is going to be like this. you might explore forward fold just right here. Or keeping the spine long, softening, breathing. In the forward fold, we tune into ourselves, folding into ourselves. Grounding, calming, cooling in nature. Nice and easy. We'll lift and change legs. Your choice. Maybe you're folding right here. Or maybe you're straightening that leg out in front of you. And again, nice easy lift. Now, one more seated posture before we move on to all fours. Bringing the soles of the feet together, whatever that might look like for you. They might be out here. You might bring the heels in. You can take hold of the ankles. Explore the seated bound angle posture here. Perhaps you want to apply a gentle pressure. Another variation is to take the hands behind the hips, straightening the arms, lifting the spine. Okay, now we're going to explore some postures on all fours. Now, a few things to think about here. If your knees aren't too keen here, you can always roll up your mat like this so you've got a little bit more cushioning for the knees. And another option, or you can use whatever sort of blanket or cushion that you have. If your wrists don't like all fours, you can come down onto the forearms, and that will give you a little bit of reprieve for the wrists. Whatever works best for you. While we're on all fours, we want to have our knees about hip width apart. Our hands are about shoulder width apart. And we're going to begin with some gentle movement here, just allowing the hips to sway from one side to the other. Again, warming up the joints. Focus is within, observing the breath, observing the body. And let's take that action to full hip circles now. Dropping the hips towards the heels. Let this be smooth, relaxed. And we'll take those circles in the opposite direction. We'll come back to a neutral space on all fours. Now from here, let's take the right foot, stepping back, digging the right toes in, pressing that heel back, so you're feeling a little sensation along the calf muscle set. And let's see how it goes on the other side. Okay, coming back to neutral, and we're going to go into a few rounds of cat and cow posture. So as we exhale, we're rounding the spine towards the ceiling, crown of the head points down. As we inhale, we explore the counteraction, letting the belly round down and turning the gaze upwards. So we want to find our flow as we move through these two postures here at our own pace, coordinating breath with movement. Now, if you want to add the Ujjayi breath or ocean sounding breath to this practice, you can. Breathing through the nose with a slight constriction at the back of the throat so that you can hear yourself breathing. Sometimes people call it the Darth Vader breath. It's almost like a snore, but not quite. And let's come back to neutral, and we'll give our wrists a little break. We're going to open the knees out towards the edges of the mat, sending the hips back towards the heels, and letting the arms lengthen here as we soften the spine. Let the forehead come down towards the mat. And breathe. And then we're going to lift and return to all fours. And let's turn the gaze over the left shoulder, looking back towards the toes as we exaggerate the right hip out. Coming to center, and we'll explore that on the other side. And again, coming back to center. Now from here, a little opening twist variation. So we inhale, we're gonna reach up that left hand, looking up towards the ceiling. And release, letting that flow to the other side. Okay, now we're going to move into a variation of side plank. So I'm going to place, right now I'm placing the left foot on the mat, sort of lined up with the right. Finding my balance, lifting that left arm up. Take a few breaths. Now, we might find a little more balance, lifting that left foot off the floor. I can feel my core muscles engaging to support me. All right, nice and easy. We'll release, adjust as needed, and then we'll see how a variation of side plank goes Now as we plant the right foot on the mat, reaching up with the right arm, nice and open across the heart center. Supportive core. Lifting as another variation for a little bit more balance. And again, nice release. Let's take a pause in child's pose. So again, you can feel free to open the knees or not. Softening. And then returning to all fours. This time we're going to move into sunbird. So it's a little bit more strengthening and coordinating. Stepping the left foot back, lifting that leg, reaching the right arm forward. Keeping the gaze down at the mat, chin tucked in towards the chest so there's no strain at the back of the neck. A few deep belly breaths here. And nice release. Then sunbird with the opposite limbs, gazing downwards. Breathe. And again, coming back to neutral. Now we will lower onto the forearms and we'll explore a little strengthening action. So I'm stepping the feet back, digging the toes in for a forearm plank. Nice strong core. You have the variation where you can lower the knees onto the mat. Still be aware of your core engaging to support you, either way. And we'll release. Let's come back to child's pose to finish our postures on all fours. Let's get ready for some standing postures now as a little bit of energizing work to complete our practice. Now moving into some standing postures. So we'll begin here in our standing mountain. Let's take a look at the toes and our feet, which are about hip width apart. We might be able to stretch out the toes a little bit. Now from here, gathering our focus within, observing the whole length of our bodies, from the soles of our feet all the way up through to the crown of the head. Standing mountain is a very useful practice. Of course, we are balanced here. We want to feel ease in our standing position. Of course, we are also weight bearing. So it's important to be on our feet as much as seems reasonable these days. I love standing mountain in particular because to me this is a posture where we are fully ourselves here, being in our skin and bones, with our hearts and minds as we are, accepting ourselves here in our strength and our vulnerabilities. And then we're going to shake off that standing mountain. Shake it all out. Feel good. Loosen up the hips. I'm going to open the feet just a little bit wider than hip width. And I'm going to explore some gentle hip circles. Again, smooth movement. If you want to have the support of a chair nearby, please do so. Use the supports that feel appropriate for you. Let's take those circles in the opposite direction. Okay. Now, actually, I'm going to move just a little bit here for this next practice. It's a gentle twist. Again, for a bit more foundation, I'm opening my feet out. You want to perhaps not do this posture if there are issues, or this action, I should say. If there are issues with the spine, you can make fists and have the fists tap the side body as you're twisting. So not forceful, just allowing for a little bit of momentum here. And then letting the momentum slow down. Let's come back to feet hip width apart, and we're just going to do a little walking on the spot, lifting one heel and then the other, letting the hips exaggerate out to the sides. Okay, back to neutral. Now for this one, if you want to have a computer handy, go ahead and use that. We're going to draw some circles over the toes. We don't want to ignore the toes. And opposite direction. Then to the other side. And reverse. Okay. Back to standing mountain. Now from here, again, perhaps with the chair for support, we're stepping the right foot back, landing on the tops of the toes, finding our balance. We might reach those arms up. Back to neutral. And to the other side. Stepping the left foot back, landing on the tops of the toes, arms lift. And again, back to neutral. Now that's a back bending action, so we want to explore the counter movement. So I'm going to open my feet out a little bit wider, placing my hands on the thighs and then bending at the knees here, letting the torso soften forward. You can keep your hands on the thighs. We're in a sort of ragdoll position. If you want, you can let your hands come down to the mat. Maybe take hold of the elbows, letting the crown of the head point down. Take a few breaths. And then nice and easy, slowly lifting, unfurling the spine, returning to standing up, and breathing. Then from here, let's go into a little bit more balance work. So again, you can use your chair for support. We'll explore a variation of tree pose, placing the right heel on the inside of the left ankle. My toes are planted, the foot, the heel is supported here. We can have tree right here with hands on the hips, or if you'd like to lift the arms. Letting the arms float down, returning to standing mountain, observing and breathing. Let's see how it goes on the other side. Left heel against the right ankle. Arms might stay down, or we might lift. Nice release. And shake it off a little bit more balance work with a crane pose, with or without the chair, lifting the right knee. Arms can be out like this. And nice release. And when you're ready and steady, we'll see how it goes on the other side. And back to standing mountain. Let's open the feet out just a little bit, and we're going to come into a half fold with our hands on our hips. So the practice here is to hinge forward, find that place where you can land with the spine approximately parallel to the floor. So we're getting some sensation in the hamstrings here, backs of the legs. We're going to bend at the knees slightly and slowly lift and return to neutral. going to finish out the practice with just a little bit of a seated meditation. So I'm going to bring my chair over, make myself comfortable, and we'll settle in for a little bit of relaxed breathing. I'm placing my hands just above the belly button or around the belly button. And my practice here is to sit comfortably in a relaxed way and breathe and be and honor myself in this state of being and breathing. The mind may wander, and that's okay. We acknowledge the thoughts. And we gently return our focus back to the breath. Now you can feel free to sit here for as long as you like, meditating, relaxing. If you would like to take this down onto your back for full relaxation, you can do that as well. Either way, I want to thank you for joining me in my practice today, and I hope it's been useful for you. And let's just take a moment here, take a nice breath in, letting the arms lift, bringing our hands together at the heart center, and we will take a moment to give and receive thanks to ourselves for all that we be, and let's honor the qualities that we have explored in our practice today. We have the qualities of presence, focus, awareness, compassion as we honor our bodies, introspection, calm, flexibility, balance, strength, and equanimity. And let's share all of these qualities off the mat with those that we share our lives with. Namaste.